Let's focus on this whole issue of energy next as well, because the blackouts have come back. They are rolling. People are now actively looking for alternative sources of power, as you've just seen there in Kraaifontein in the Western Cape, whether it's solar power, generators, wind power. But for many, the option of solar may just be too expensive. Or is it? James Siedle is the CEO of Ample Power, specialist in both business and residential solar power installations. Mr. Siedle, welcome to the Midday View on eNCA. Thank you very much for your time. How expensive is it to install solar power in your home or business?
That's an interesting question. It depends on the size of your home and how much power you're using in the house. So as a direct answer, it can cost you anything from 50,000 Rand to 600,000 Rand, depending on your needs. So if you've got a small single-phase home, you can probably get away with between 80 to 120. But if you're wanting to have a three-phase home and you've got large appliances, lots of air conditioning, etc., it's going to cost you more. And if you're wanting longer-term batteries, that too will also add to the bill.
So what do the batteries do? You got solar, you got the sun. Why you need batteries?
That's a very, very good question, and I think an important misnomer amongst many people that solar actually does back up. Solar without batteries will not back up. So in other words, solar on its own, when the grid goes down, solar goes down as well. So solar needs a point of reference like a battery or else a grid or a generator in order to stay live. So in order to have a fully functioning system when you have grid and without grid as a backup, you need to have batteries.
Okay, whether it's single phase or three, yes, I get you, or three phase, so, and that
Correct.
backup is important. Just give us a practical example of an average
Correct.
size home. I don't know what that, I mean, I don't know. Let's say in the suburbs where I would guess the middle class people will be the ones who could afford, of course, to invest in solar power for a single home. What do you need?
Sure. So I think let's look at an average home. So an average small home might be consuming about 25 to 30 kilowatt hours a day. So that's the amount of energy that's charged by the electricity department, and they charge you in kilowatt hours units. We need to basically supply enough solar to be able to offset at least the daytime portion, as well as enough solar then to offset the evening portion as well. Now that evening portion has got to be offset with battery storage, obviously, because the sun doesn't shine at night. So there's lots of different options in putting together a solar system. Ideally, you can just put on solar on its own, just to keep your electricity bills down. Otherwise, you can add on battery backup, just for backup. In the event of a power outage, you can just have your lights, your TV, and your Wi-Fi running for maybe 2 to 4 hours to 6 hours. Or else you can then add on more battery and more solar to offset your evening usage and keep your electricity bill down to virtually zero. So in answer to that question, you can go from perhaps 20,000 Rand from a pure backup just for essential items to perhaps a 12-hour backup system, or at least a solar system, which will be about maybe 80 to 120,000 Rand.
Okay. How long will it take to install?
So again, it depends on the complexity of the roof and also what sort of equipment you're having. But ideally, the largest lead time is in the actual acquisition of the products and making sure we've got all the panels and batteries in stock. Otherwise, the installation on its own can take from a day to maybe 4 days. So the installation time doesn't have to be the critical part. It's making sure that you've got all the preparation right in the beginning.
Okay, very quickly, 2 questions in one. My producer, Verushka, is not happy with me taking more time now. Solar power cost, have they come down now over the years? And how often would you have to replace the batteries for backup?
So in terms of costs, solar panels have come dramatically down over the last 10 years, 5 years. But right now, because of all the COVID delays and also power outages in China, panels are actually going up in December, sort of November, December, possibly coming down a bit again in January, February. But in terms of batteries also come down. How long does it last? So if you are wanting a lead acid, the traditional sort of car battery lead acid type arrangement, that's got a year's warranty and probably will last 3 to 5 years. Otherwise, you have a lithium battery, which is the current trend in the market, and the lithium will last as a warranty for 10 years and can last 15 to 20 years.
Okay, that's the option. Thank you very much, Mr. James Siedle, CEO of Ample Power. There you have it, some of the basics if you wanted to know about solar power, if you're considering that alternative source of energy, as the rolling blackouts are back with a vengeance. Thank you very much, Mr. Andre de Ruyter and the ESCOM guys. Now,